very pleased with today's message, and I think they're going to live up to what they said this morning in the written message, which was you will know your importance. You will come to know your importance today. So what we're going to do is just take a few breaths to get into the room. I've been doing that a little bit already. So we're just need to be centered because everyone will really need to hear this. And so you'll need to be really present and in the room, and even those who will be listening to this later in the replay, which I'm sure there will be plenty of that. So big breath, and your resistance as well. So this is why taking a break, going for a walk, doing meditation, doing anything to just kind of relax, sink into who you are, because your spirit is moving you up so rapidly now that your body is not, your physical body is limited. So it's not keeping up as well as it could.
Yeah, actually, I would like you to speak a little more into what happens if, for example, your body seems to be routinely betraying you. You're always in pain. You're coming up with all of these sicknesses, and the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with you. What does that mean?
You accepted some part that you wanted to be the solution. You agreed to move through that part of your life so that you could be the solution to whatever that ailment is. We've said in 2012, we told you in there that all of your illnesses, dis-ease, we called it. We separated it. We wanted you to get the point. Dis-ease. Do you see? You're not separate. You're not aligned with who you are, and you're resisting it. And so your body is trying to guide you. And so it's like, here's an illness. Here's another one. Here's a problem. Rogers had all of them. That's why we told you. He's had all of them. And he became very aware that it was his resistance to moving into this next place. But again, it's hard for you to, you can't make an assessment of this at this point, because you may not have access to what you don't have the memory of what you agreed to, with your ancestors, with your soul family or whatever. You don't have memories of that. Just know that it is something that you agreed to, and then as you embody you and let go, it starts to release. It starts to move through.
Yeah, I feel you may have answered it. But I guess just to be absolutely clear, or I just for further clarity, how would you know that you are going in that direction? Like, what if what if you've been suffering for so long and you just feel that that's your normal?
Then
How do you find that direction in order to start releasing that disease?
okay, none of you have been punished. That is the thing that a lot of you form different ideas and beliefs about certain things. So many times you think that your difficulties, your challenges, your injuries might be punishment for something. No, this is why we said we don't use karma, because humans will make different distinctions about that. We will use dharma. So if you think of your dharma, that's something that you agreed to move through because you knew that it was going to help not only you if you did it, but also your world, humans. You knew that it was going to help your world evolve if you agreed to move through that. So sometimes you won't have a memory of that, but that is exactly what you're doing. And so just gaining the understanding of it, oh, you start to accept it. You start to feel a little bit less resistance. Your body starts to adjust. But you have to get rid of the idea, the mental idea that somehow you're being punished. No, that's why when we use the Dharma, we want you to think that you agreed to something. Nobody gave it to you. You did that so that you could expand and move and all of that. And then as you do that, it goes back into your world.
Thank you very much for that. Clarity, I saw that you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Along the same lines, I've noticed that my neuropathy is better in the morning since I've been wearing my pressure socks. So it hasn't happened magically. It's happened because I've applied what is known to help your circulation, and the blood is your life. And along those same lines, around dinner time, I start getting that tingling and those shooting pains through my body, what they call it's neuroleptic syndrome, because I've been on antidepressants for quite some time. That after I eat, I feel better. So it's my body going, hey, remember me? You need to give me sustenance. You need to feed me. I'm not a machine. So it's a matter of compassion and deep listening.
Yes.
And it's also not blaming yourself or feeling that you're a victim. It's owning what your body does and gradually coaxing it to a better state, a higher frequency, we are saying now.
Yes. We're so pleased you said frequency because that is what it is. You have guidance, each of you, and it is about how you feel. And how you feel is an energetic vibration. The higher that vibration, the more aligned you are with your real self. The more aligned you are with your real self, that eternal spiritual soul, you start to let go of your 3D, three-dimensional, 3D world physical problems. You start to leave them. And so then your bodies miraculously start to feel different. You each have heard many times of those who've passed beyond, and then they will speak to those of you who are still here, and they say, oh, wow, I feel so much better now. I'm free. I was sick before. I had all these other things. That's real. Then that's exactly what occurs, because you drop your physical body, your restrictions. You just drop it, and he's like, wow. If more of you could do weightlessness, if you could take space, you'll be doing that soon, though. You will understand the feeling of that free flying experience.
The other thing that I'd like to share with everyone who follows us, follows along with us, is that when we are feeling anxiety, pain, or disturbance inside, we're not at peace, we can do one of two things: regulate our breathing, or sing, tone, hum, get our body into vibration, and it will change almost instantly.
Thank you. You have given us various modalities, and what we want to speak on that is that each one of you will find what works for you. There's not one way that you're going to accomplish something, and anything that you use outside of your mind is just a prop. It's just a tool. It's just something else that you use. If you put on, you spoke of the socks or things that you might wear on your bodies or braces or all of that. It's just that you think you need support, you need help, and that's okay. Because as you're using those things, your mind, your soul is saying, okay, you're at least making the effort to go in that direction. And then you get to the place where you figure out you don't need it. That's the ultimate. Because that's what happens as you start to ascend, you see. And so that's why we told you the story about Roger with all the illnesses, all the diseases, all the things, to get to a place where at 71, we're like, oh, wow, this is better stuff. Because you start to you integrate dimensions of who you are in this physical world. And that's what you're doing now. This is just different because it's a little challenging. But we want you to understand, each of you, you did that on purpose. And this is why we keep wanting you to understand the enormity of the tasks that you took on. You should be proud of yourselves.
Also, speaking of the virus as a teacher, I follow someone who lives in Vancouver, BC, and she's been sheltering in place for almost the last 2 years. And early on, November of 2019, before we quote unquote were being exposed to the coronavirus, she had a chest issue, and she was so anxious to get out of ER, she didn't have chest x-rays made. And just recently she had an embolism, and she realizes now she has long COVID. So our inability to take action when our bodies are speaking to us is also an act of love and patience.
Yes. When you allow, we want you all to think about this in an entirely new way. You didn't make any mistakes. Not taking care of yourself is not a mistake. We want to reverse that. See, it was learning. It was education. Because then you say, okay, I didn't do that. Now I know something. So I can make a new choice now. I can start to make changes. I can embody who I am. I can do something that's going to cause it to be different. But if we start to believe that we screwed up, and this is why we're having this horrible thing, we're not understanding the integrity of our life experience, you see, because sometimes those things are meant to happen because you wanted to move through them. So the judgments, I mean, you can't always know this, but the only thing you can know is, as we've given you, which was the point of your life operating instructions, everything that is happening is for your highest good. Everything. You just find out later, maybe you just figure it out, but everything.
Brian, I saw that you had your hand up. Oh, you're still muted. And you're still muted. Let me see if I can help you out here.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Well, it's been a good week. If we're talking about pain, I wasn't really going to talk about that, but I did have the hip replacement, but I never really felt that it was pain that I deserved the pain. What I've been looking at it as a process of healing. So the replacement was because it was I was having some pain, yes, but that was due to deterioration. But instead of focusing on the pain, I'm more focusing on the process of healing, and then feeling the body becoming more regenerated and stronger, and being amazed about how my body is healing, because I'm thinking in that way that, it's going to be all right. Like, this is all part of the journey. It's not, that's just what it is. In order to heal, you have to go from point A to point B to point C. And so this has been a good week. That was one thing.
We want to interject here. Your surgery did not correct your hip pain. You did that.
Okay. Well, I'll take that, because I've been trying to stay in a positive frame of mind. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling very aware that things have improved and are improving and will continue to improve. And then just a note, something came up the other day where I have family in the UK, and then I have family all different places, and somehow we just got into, they wanted to have a positive year. Everyone has. I said, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share a positive thought with you, and we'll just share these positive thoughts. Some of the thoughts are my own thoughts, and some of the thoughts are maybe lent from other people. And I said, it doesn't have to be every day. I said every couple days, and you take it for what it is. Like, it might apply to you. You think about it. And when you get to that negative place, whatever that negative place is, think about what I wrote to you today. So it's almost empowering, because it's the same thought or phrase I may write, not the same one every day, but we're all concentrating on this thought.
Mhm.
So it's giving us all power, even though we're not together. And through that power, I believe that's how when you mention changing the world, that's kind of how you have to go about it. You can't think about all the negative stuff. It's there, but you focus on the positive together, and it gives you a sense of strength. So that's been working for me.
Wonderful. Now let's talk about positive.
Okay.
None of you know what that is. Just don't know, and that's been part of the problem. Because see, you look at certain things that are happening, like you look at the conditions of the world right now, and you said there's no way is that positive. Is that a positive experience? What's going on? But we're saying that it is, because it's causing you to awaken to who you are. You see, so the classifications that humans make are you sometimes you can't really make them your measurements because you're always judging things or assessing things from a very limited perspective, what you have known, what you've experienced, which is why we went through all the links this morning to show you. Roger, he didn't know anything about what we showed him from back there to 12 and that 400 years. None of that made any sense, you see. And so you are allowing yourself to move into new portions of who you are all the time. And so some of the periods where you may be, where you feel that this is something this something bad could be something positive. So that's it. However, to make your point though, which what you're doing is wonderful, which we want more of you to do, because it is valuable for you to hold what you feel for you right at this moment, in this place in your life. What you feel for you is positive. Please keep repeating it. Keep putting it in your mind, because now you're using your mind, the brain of your mind, in the way that which it was intended to focus you into your higher self, to focus you into who you were meant to be. So yes, those the more often that you're holding on to what for you feels to be positive at this time, please keep doing that, because it just pumps you up. You become more empowered all the time.
But I do get what you're saying, though, as you just said it, that the, the negative or what we consider to be negative or a rough time could, in fact, be a way of changing you into a different direction that could open up a door that you didn't know that was there.
Yeah,
So I sort of get it,
yeah, always, yeah.
looking at it that way. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I guess one more question here. If a person, and I feel this is coming off of that I feel that a lot of people misunderstand what light and dark really is. And here's my question. If someone feels very identified with the dark, quote unquote, and they feel judgment and they feel some shame when someone comes in with a lot of light, what would you say to that person? Yeah, what would you say? What would you suggest to that person moving forward?
Nothing. What I would do, I would show up and be light. See, because when someone is placed in your experience who's exhibiting that behavior, you have to remember, oh, I'm the light. I'm the light. Let me bring that forth. You can't tell them what to do. They're not going to get that. They've been told forever. They've been told what to do forever. That's not it. You have to use their self-motivation, and the way that occurs is by you being there and being the light. And you will know that we've had Roger say to you many times, he will not join you in your misery. He just won't do it because he doesn't see it. He can't see it. And so you have to remember that when you're working with someone, it's challenging, we know, but when you're working with someone and you feel that energy that they're with, it's just a call for you to be lighter. It's a call for you to come up more. That's all.
Perfect. Received. Thank you. One last request. If anyone has any questions or comments, if you'd like, you can put it in the chat and I will read them on your behalf. And, oh, Brian, you have one more thing to say?
Mute.
There you go.
It's just exactly what Roger just said. Long story short, I'm around some people, but not so much now, because they tend to be, I don't want to use the word, but negative, or they can't see beyond something. And so what I've decided is I don't want to be invited to that party. You know, I'm just going to keep on my path of doing what I do, and I'm going to decline that invitation. But I'm always will be available
Mhm.
if they can see what I'm doing, that will enable me to continue on my journey, wherever that journey is going to lead me. But I don't need people around me that sort of like that, you know, Debbie Downer expression, or making me feel fearful about doing something when I really didn't feel fearful until I spoke to them. So therefore I can't have that conversation with them. So I'm choosing very carefully with whom I discuss certain things with, so that I'm not dragged into this place of negativity.
Perfect. You each have given us so much, and we thank you for that. You are here to fulfill your evolutionary journey, and you must do the things that cause you to feel the best. So if not being around those people, not being in their presence causes your energy to stay high, then do that. Now, there are others of you who will do things. Now, Roger did something different, but you're not, again, he did this because he knew, when he is remembering, that he meant to be here so he could help more people. And so he allowed himself to move through really challenging relationships and all of that. He did all of that because he wanted to know. But none of you don't have to do that. You have to do what is right for you. And that is what is right for you is going to resonate, because you'll feel it. You know, when you made that choice, you felt better in your soul because of that. And that was the right thing. And each of you have that measurement, that ability to know if the choices that you're making are the ones that are resonating with your soul. So that's brilliant. However, you can't, some of you have been in relationships that have been really challenging, or been around people that have been really horrible, and you might have done that intentionally because you wanted to get over it. You see, that could be. But each of you will make that decision because it's all about your evolution. But thank you. That we wanted. We're so glad that we could give you all the different perspectives, because sometimes you try to fit yourself into everybody's box and do things exactly as the others. And no, you have to do what's right for you. So thank you.
Okay, Clarity, close us out.
I would like to paraphrase what Brian just said a little bit, if I may. What the universe has been telling me when I've asked for understanding, and then I say, show me more. There's no words, there's no commands. It's just put in front of me. And when I'm gobsmacked and just amazed by the beauty of the universe, it's just that. It's being shown what is here for me. I don't have to wander around looking for a guru to tell me some secret, and I'll magically become me, or the me I imagine I might be. And so we achieve that by being alone. And if you Google being alone is a gift. Being alone is a gift, because it allows us to really get to know our connection to the one, which is our hearts.
You each are here to do that. The entire point of all the work that we have given you, as we said, it's a philosophy, but our only intention was one thing, to allow each of you to understand who you are and come to love yourselves. That's all.
Mm.
That was it. We have thoroughly enjoyed this day, and there will be more. We will keep giving you a little indication of what the topic might be beforehand, but we would love for each of you to invite more people. We would love to have more who show up, because the more energy, synergy that you create, the better for your evolution and that of your world. So, but again, we are so appreciative of you being here and for your commitment to being you. Thank you so much. And we are complete. Okay.
Oh, the old gravedigger's back.
Oh, wow. What time? Is
No,
that,
we didn't talk about Horace. You're okay.
is that 10, 20?
Yeah, I think straight up. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
wow.
80 minutes.
Oh, we went over.
Oh, I had no idea it was that long. I had 0. Okay, I knew there was a lot.
Like a light. I was out like a light,
Yeah.
like a light.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much. Now I've got, wow. Phew.
Thank
It'll
you,
be interesting
Roger.
to hear this one. Thank you.
See you
Great.
guys.
All right, you guys, I will see you soon. Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Yes.